What the government doesn't want you to know about aliens. Hello YouTube. Today we're gonna give you 10 more reasons why you should take UFOs more seriously. Leave alone the fake videos and images circling the internet. We have real evidence that proves aliens do exist. Disclaimer, we here at Top 5 Best do not refute our facts. In fact, we actually embrace them, so take that. And before we start that, tap that subscribe button and activate notifications with the bell icon. We don't want you to miss out on anything because we actually produce a lot of content here. With all that said and done, I'm your ever-lovely narrator, Gentleman T-Rex. Let's begin, shall we? Number 10. We may have just seen an actual flying saucer. When Oumuamua was spotted in the solar system recently, SETI and other institutes were quick to suggest that the rod-shaped thing could belong to aliens. This object was the very first interstellar thing to cross our solar system. UFO enthusiasts across the world believe that rods and flying saucers are two of the most common sightings reported by witnesses. And it's kinda true. If you were told to draw what you'd think a spaceship looks like, your illustration wouldn't go too far off from the Oumuamua. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm just mispronouncing that. The SETI and Breakthrough Institutes analyzed the object using high-tech devices but found no extraordinary signal emissions from it. Perhaps it's an old relic from one of the interstellar civilizations, or maybe the aliens weren't into making contact with us. Or maybe it was a diversion for something much bigger. Or our earthly devices were too outdated to detect alien technology. With the thing currently on its way out of our solar system, we'll probably never know. Most movies portray aliens as large-headed, skinny creatures with the mission of abducting human beings. Coming next is the real-life story of a couple who not only spotted a UFO, but got into it. Number 9. Barney and Betty Hill's abduction. Betty and Barney Hill were driving down the New Hampshire road when their car was swooped into the air by a bright light. The two woke up later with no memory of what had happened and the car magnetized. With no other witnesses but themselves, most people thought they were nuts. No one believed them, and to make it worse, they were a mixed-race couple during a very racist era. So no media outlet gave them the deserved airplay. To recover from the trauma, they went through several therapies. It was during the regressive hypnosis about a year later that the two were able to remember the bit that had been scrapped out from their memory. They recalled being abducted by short gray men with no hair, which was soon adopted as the de facto alien look. Betty was even able to draw a map of a constellation, which puzzled the police. It all looked like a bunch of nonsense until some scientists realized what she drew resembled the Zeta Reticuli, part of the system within a constellation. Being a regular lady with no scientific or rather interstellar knowledge, there's no doubt that she interacted with extraterrestrial beings. How else would she be able to sketch all that in the first place? Apparently there are even more alien abduction stories because the following happened in 1957. Number 8. Antonia Via Boas' alien seduction. Small, strange creatures with oversized heads abducted Via Boas right on his farm. The farmer was then forced into their vessel where creatures took over his body, drawing blood samples all over. They later rubbed in some form of gel to cover the injection marks, as Antonio explained. He recalls a female blonde alien then initiating sex with him. Again, we're a family channel. Once they were done, she left him, feeling used and exploited by these unknown creatures. He was then released back to Earth unharmed. He then realized he had strange marks and burns on his body, so he went to the hospital and doctors confirmed he had had radiation poisoning in his system. He shared his story, which was published in the Cruzero's magazine Flying Saucers and Their Terrible Mission. What makes this so believable is that Antonio never profited from the story. He never took a single penny in payment. His story was quite similar to other abduction theories, as the spaceship he drew a match that the authorities had in mind. Antonio turned out okay. He got a law degree, got married, had 4 kids, and eventually died knowing his kids had half-siblings somewhere in outer space. What happens when they try to communicate with us, though? Find out right next. Number 7. The WOW signal. A couple of years later, after the Farmers incident in 1977, a 72-second sound burst from interstellar space was recorded. It was believed to be an intergalactic message, and it measured 1420 MHz, a frequency rate from a water hole. The astrologer who spotted it, Jerry Emin, was so excited when he came across the sound that he scribbled "WOW" on the printout right away. The explanations from experienced astronomers include the passing of an unknown comet and secret satellites. Despite the signal not proving much about alien existence, it is the best evidence of extraterrestrial communication to have ever been recorded. Of course, the aliens might have also been saying, "We will be coming back to take over your world and we will never know." I mean, until it happens, of course. It looks as if aliens loved the 1960s and 1950s. They must have loved rock and roll and bits of Elvis Presley. In the next story, aliens not only visited, but also left us a gift. Number 6. Kecksburg UFO Crash. In 1965, a fireball streaked over the sky in Detroit in southern Canada, dropping its debris in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan. The official report stated it was a medium-sized meteor, but witnesses claimed they saw a large acorn-shaped thing approximately the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Newspaper reporters were not given direct access to the object as the military performed close inspections on the site. The research supposedly yielded nothing. However, conspiracists maintained the thing was loaded onto an army truck and the whole event was a Roswell-level cover-up. It was as if nothing had happened. Ever wonder where the words flying saucer came from? Find out in the next shocking story. Number 5. Kenneth Arnold's Flying Saucer. On June 24, 1947, Kenneth Arnold, a pilot, spotted delta-shaped objects flying across the sky as he passed the Cascade Mountains, headed to Washington State. He reported his aerial encounter to the military personnel, demanding an explanation of the contraptions. What he witnessed was a bunch of 9 circular objects that were so thin he almost couldn't see them. The media took his description, and from that the term flying saucer was born. From what he saw, he dismissed they could be jets or misguided missiles. The best guess? Objects from another planet. When the news spread across the town, Kenneth became a celebrity. However, his celebrity status was not to be envied because people stigmatized him. They would leave a coffee shop if he entered, people would mumble across the streets whenever he passed, and he hated all this and described the situation as being out of hand, as people would look at him as if he was a combination of Flash Gordon, Screwball, and Einstein. Kenneth Arnold isn't the only one who has witnessed strange lights in the sky. There have been several other shocking sights witnessed by many people simultaneously. Here's one more case where not one, not two, but thousands of people reported. Everyone who watches this story turns into a believer. Number 4. Phoenix Lights. The most recent and significant UFO sighting was 20 years ago on March 13, 1997. Thousands of people saw strange lights in the sky covering the size of a couple of football fields. The strange lights were witnessed from Tucson, Phoenix, and right over the Mexican border. The lights flew in a V shape and constantly flickered. They were definitely not stars. The scene was reported to have taken place between 7 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Among the witnesses were actor Kurt Russell, who spotted them in his private jet. Governor Fife Symington also saw the weird phenomenon from his home. He stated being a pilot, he knew all the flying objects created by man, and whatever he saw was definitely not terrestrial. What do you think? Are you convinced they're aliens? If not, here's one more shocking abduction story to prove their existence. Number 3. Travis Walton. In the year 1975, one more shocking event was recorded in history. A group of loggers reported their 22-year-old co-worker disappeared for almost a week after a glowing disc appeared in the woods and zapped him in with rays. Kinda sounds like a movie, right? Wait until you hear the rest of the story, though. Travis Walton woke up on a table surrounded by 3 fetuses dressed in tan robes. He tried to escape, but he was tied and couldn't move. He soon passed out and regained consciousness after the aliens dropped him off back in the woods. He had no clue what had happened to him, and his only memory of the 5 days where he was abducted was that of the fetuses. Everyone thought it was a scam and the group must have been lying, but after they all passed polygraph tests and after being interviewed by a prestigious hypnotist, people started taking them seriously. His story led to the creation of the popular Fire in the Sky movie. That was hella creepy. I don't think there's anything scarier than being abducted by aliens, especially those that look like fetuses. I think we should stop everything we're doing and unite to create weapons against them. To prove that I'm right, here's one more case that proves just how powerful aliens are. Number 2. The Battle of Los Angeles. In 1942, several reports filtered in on a flying glowy object above Culver City. When the Army identified it, they went on to pepper it with more than 1,000 anti-aircraft shells. And it ended up disappearing and the whole city was in a blackout. Shell fragments ended up everywhere in the city, killing 5 civilians. The Army reported it was a balloon, but UFOologists claimed it was an unknown alien aircraft. Honestly, the latter makes sense, because why would the Navy spray that much artillery to eliminate a weather balloon? Even with all that anti-aircraft shelling, the object wasn't damaged. If they come back for us, we're gonna be doomed. People often utter their deepest, darkest secrets on their deathbeds. That's why no one has formed a valid argument against this man's last confession about the government's involvement with aliens. Pay attention to Boyd Bushman's last bid to warn humans against aliens. Alright, I saved the best for last, but first I have a quick challenge that only takes 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just give it a try, it really works. Number 1. Boyd Bushman Confession. Boyd Bushman was an Area 51 scientist and has worked on multiple top-secret research projects with the US government. What would a man of such high profile possibly know about the extraterrestrial world? Probably everything. Boyd decided that he won't take his secrets to the grave and recorded some of the most shocking secrets about aliens and the government's interactions with them. If he doesn't convince you aliens exist, then nothing will. Amazingly, he doesn't stop there. He has more images of UFOs that the government never wanted the public to see. He continues to explain that the aliens live in Quintonia, which is 68 light years from us. They would probably take 68,000 years to get to us using our technology, but with their equipment it would only take 45 years. He goes on to show real picture evidence of the 5-foot-long creatures. We're actually quite similar to them. We both have 2 eyes, a pair of ears, 5 fingers, and toes, and similar body structure. The differences were that they had 3 backbones, no hair, are much shorter than humans, and have larger brains than us. The scientist also mentions that the creatures had extraordinary abilities, including telepathy, and could live longer than man, more than 200 years actually. He was able to get answers from them without communicating. He would ask the question in his head and the answer would pop back in his own head with his own voice. It's actually pretty sweet. What makes this story so believable is that he didn't have anything to gain from the confession. He was just an old man with a lot of secrets that he didn't want to be buried with. While Boyd portrayed them to be kind and social, I wouldn't trust anything that can get into your head and read your thoughts. Whether you believe it or not, the fact is that there's so much evidence supporting the existence of aliens, it does pose the question, what comes out of these creatures that have far more superior technology than us? If aliens don't exist, then there must be some sick human somewhere playing tricks on us. And that's our video for today, everybody. Have an awesome day, and don't forget to look up in the sky. You may spot an alien lurking. Hit the like button, subscribe for more videos.